Hello students, today we are going to cover topics in chapter 5 of your textbook, which is the topic of rates. And actually in this video we are going to cover the two applications of rates that your textbook covers. So first let's talk about exchange rates, and we're just going to illustrate this idea through an example. So let's suppose you went on Google, you were maybe going to go to Canada, you wanted to know the exchange rate for Canadian dollars to US dollars. And so US dollars is abbreviated USD. And you see that, okay, the exchange rate for Canadian dollars to US dollars is 1 to 0.76. And first, as kind of a gut check to understand, or to see if you understand this ratio, I want you to pause for a moment and think, what's worth more, a dollar, a US dollar, or a Canadian dollar? What's worth more? So I want you to pause and think about that. Okay. The answer, and I get a lot of mixed responses on this when I ask this in class, the US dollar is worth more. And I think a first instinct, people say, oh, Canadian dollars worth more because look, in this ratio, you have more Canadian dollars than US dollars. But let's think again what this ratio means. This ratio means that if you had a Canadian dollar, you could only trade that for 76 American cents. So you can't, with your one Canadian dollar, you can't trade that for a whole American dollar. You have to take less than that. So if you had a whole American dollar, that means you should be able to get more than one Canadian dollar out of it. So you'd rather have one American dollar than one Canadian dollar, given this exchange rate. And so the American dollar is worth more. So that's something that's good to keep in mind when you're doing exchange rate problems, to just understand what that means. Okay. So now if you exchanged 35 Canadian dollars for US dollars, how many US dollars would you get? And now, again, before going through the answer, should you get more US dollars or fewer US dollars? So you should get fewer. And so this is a nice thing to think about before you do a problem like this, because then you can have an idea whether the answer you get makes sense. So, okay, let's do it. The way that I like to think about it is I take this ratio, 1 Canadian dollar to 0.76 US dollars, and I write it as a fraction of Canadian dollars to US dollars. And then I say, all right, well, that ratio of Canadian to US dollars has to be the same as 35 Canadian dollars to some number of US dollars. And that X is what you want to solve for. And so you solve it, you can cross multiply, and you get that 1 Canadian dollar to 76.76 US dollars, that's the same as 35 Canadian dollars to 26.6 US dollars. And that just means if you exchanged 35 Canadian dollars, you would get 26.6 US dollars back, or $26.60. I know this, like, abbreviating CAN and USD is maybe doesn't feel natural, but this is often how it goes when you end up dealing with currencies, because people maybe don't have the symbol for international currencies handy on their keyboard, so they just abbreviate with letters. Okay, so let's go the other way now. You have 35 US dollars and you want to exchange it for Canadian dollars. How many Canadian dollars are you going to get? And again, ask yourself first, are you going to get more dollars or fewer Canadian dollars for your 35 US? And you should get more, because $35 is worth more than 35 Canadian dollars. So you should get your 35 US dollars should get you even more Canadian dollars, because each one is buying more than a Canadian dollar itself. So, okay, we'll do the same setup. 1 Canadian dollar to 0.76 US dollars. Here, we don't know the number of Canadian dollars, but we have a number of US dollars. We need these two ratios to be the same, so we set them equal. We cross multiply to solve for X, and you get 46 Canadian dollars and 5 Canadian cents, which is more than 35, which is what we expected. Okay, the other application of rates that your book discusses is the idea of finding a better deal in this notion of cost per unit. So let's look at another example, totally random. You realize in a moment of panic that you are almost out of diapers for your 2-year-old. You make a midnight run to the store to pick up some more. Only 2 brands are available in your kid size. The Pampers box costs $25.38 and contains 68 diapers. The Huggies box costs $57.73 and contains 160 diapers. Which brand is the better deal? And don't worry, your 2-year-old will end up going through all of them. So you just want the one that is the better deal. Yeah, I'm assuming you've read the chapter. I would say pause this and see if you can figure this out for yourself. If you're a parent, you might have already done calculations like this. But yeah, all right, so let's see how to solve a problem like this, where you say, all right, which brand is the better deal? Which one should you buy? And the idea is that you find the cost per diaper. And whichever has the cheaper cost per diaper is the one you want to buy. So first, let's find the Pampers cost per diaper. Well, the whole box is $25.38, and it contains 68 diapers. So the price per diaper is going to be $25.38 divided by 68, which would give you $0.37 per diaper, or more naturally, we would just write it as 37 cents per diaper. And then Huggies box, all right, that's $57.73. And that buys you 160 diapers. So the cost per diaper is 57.73 over 160 diapers. That's 36 cents per diaper. So Huggies would be the better deal in this case. I actually got these two prices from, I was just checking Amazon prices, so these were real prices. And if any of you are actually parents and have done this, these are terrible prices per diaper. I remember when my kid was 2 and running into this exact, I mean, maybe the numbers were different, but the situation was almost the same. It's like midnight, there are only 2 boxes of my kid's size. And like 14 cents per diaper is a pretty good deal. I guess if you like find a great deal would be like 12 cents per diaper. Kids are so expensive. Anyway, so I guess the real lesson today is that kids are so expensive. Thanks for watching.